Joining us right now is Jason Tardio. He's the President Chief Operating Officer of Immunic Therapeutics, their ticker symbol IMUX. Always great to have him back on the show with us here on the Big Biz Show. Mr. Tardio, how are you on this fine day?
I'm wonderful. And yourself?
Not too bad. Let's talk about, for basically, before we get going into the depth of our interview here, for people who are just joining us for the first time, we've got a lot more eyes and earballs. And ears. Earballs? I said earballs.
You did, yeah.
A lot more eyeballs and ears. With this on the show, give us the nickel version of exactly what Immunic Therapeutics is all about.
Yeah, Immunic Therapeutics is a biotech company focusing on developing innovative small molecule therapies to address inflammatory and autoimmune specific diseases. We have an advanced asset called vidofludimus calcium that's currently being studied in a number of late stage programs for the treatment of multiple sclerosis. We also have a mid-stage, a phase 2 ready compound called IMU-856 that has showed some very interesting preliminary data in celiac disease. So lots of great stuff happening here.
What, Jason, what are the I guess, the cases of MS as far as how many people it's affecting in the United States of America today? Do you have an idea?
Well, according to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, which is the largest patient advocacy organization supporting individuals living with multiple sclerosis, there's over 1 million individuals with multiple sclerosis in the United States alone.
And that encompasses both the relapsing and progressive, right? Because I believe you've talked a little bit about that. Can you explain the differences again of the two different types of MS?
Sure. So you're right. There are two forms. There's the relapsing forms of multiple sclerosis, which is characterized by more inflammatory disease. These patients have what's called flare-ups or relapses. This is specifically linked to the neuroinflammatory component of the disease. This is the largest population of individuals living with multiple sclerosis. It encompasses about 75% of the diagnosed cases. On the other hand, you have what's called a progressive multiple sclerosis, and progressive multiple sclerosis consists of two different subtypes: primary progressive multiple sclerosis and secondary progressive multiple sclerosis. And combined, this particular subset represents about the other 25% or so of the population. And the difference of progressive disease versus relapsing diseases: in progressive disease, you don't have these flare-ups or these relapses. It's a disease that's characterized more by neurodegeneration.
Jason Tardio, President COO of Immunic Therapeutics. Their ticker is IMUX.
Hey, Jason, before we get into specifics about your treatments, I wanted to ask one more question about MS. And the two different kinds, are you seeing that they're genetic, are their environments
linked?
Yeah, genetically linked and inherited? Is that the word you say? Or is it caused by environmental factors?
The answer is D, all of the above, right? And so, a couple of things about multiple sclerosis. So we know that there's a viral trigger for the disease. There's a virus called Epstein-Barr virus, and there's been a lot of research over the last couple of years that have linked Epstein-Barr virus as the viral trigger for MS. Now, what this means is if you've been exposed to Epstein-Barr virus, it doesn't mean you're definitively going to get multiple sclerosis. But in order to get multiple sclerosis, you have to have been exposed to the Epstein-Barr virus. Beyond that viral trigger, there are environmental components. So, for example, individuals that live farther away from the equator and therefore get lower amounts of vitamin D have higher overall incidence and prevalence of multiple sclerosis. There is a genetic component as well. So if a direct family member, such as a mother, a father, a sibling has the disease, there is an inherent increased risk. But again, that alone won't necessarily cause MS. It's a combination of all of these factors. And then, of course, there's lifestyle factors as well. Smoking, obesity, et cetera, can all lead to the disease as well.
Jason, as far as clinical data and phase trials with the drug or the drugs under your umbrella, where are you guys right now? Give us an update.
Yeah, well, since the last time we spoke, which is about a month ago, a lot has happened. We have an ongoing phase 3 program in the relapsing forms of multiple sclerosis, as you see here. This is, we announced just last week or so that we've fully enrolled this respective program. So we've enrolled over 1,100 patients in 2 identical twin studies called the ENSURE studies. And if successful, this will serve as the registrational and regulatory package that will submit to the regulatory authorities for approval in that respective indication. We expect data late next year, so late 2026 for those respective studies. We've also reported recent data from our phase 2 study called the Caliber study in progressive multiple sclerosis. And again, about a week or so ago, we just released some additional data that supported the top line results that came out in late April. And in these recent results, we showed a very robust 24% reduction in confirmed disability worsening in this total cohort of progressive patients, including a 33% reduction in the primary progressive MS subtypes. So these are all very, very strong results. The medicine continues to be very safe and very well tolerated. So we're very encouraged about what we see today.
Jason, it's scary to think that we're almost at the halfway point of the year 2025. What does the rest of 2025 look for Immunic as far as what you have your eye on, and maybe early into 2026? What are you guys thinking?
Well, we'll continue to execute the phase 3 studies, as I've mentioned, and look to read those out in late 2026. We will have what's called an end of phase 2 meeting with the regulatory authorities, the FDA, to get their insights on our data package and to align on next steps for a confirmatory phase 3 study in progressive disease. And then, of course, we are also having a number of partnership discussions, right? We're a small little biotech company.
Sure.
This is a disease, as we mentioned, that affects upwards of millions of patients across the globe. So we have a goal to get this medicine to as many patients as quickly as possible. And the best way we can do that is to find an appropriate big pharma partner that has operations across the world. So we continue those partnership discussions and hope over the next couple of months we'll be able to announce something from those fronts.
We have about 30 seconds left with you. I'm just curious, is it hard to stay patient in your line of work when you're always waiting for trials and phases and stuff?
You know, our business takes a long time. These studies take a long time. This is years and years and years in the waiting. So as impatient as we are, you know, these patients are even more impatient, right? These individuals, again, living with multiple sclerosis, there's a number of therapies available for relapsing forms, but we still need better, more effective, safer, and better tolerated therapies for relapsing forms. And of course, on the progressive side of multiple sclerosis, there's only one approved therapy to date. And so there's a desperate need, a huge unmet medical need to deliver therapies for patients living with progressive MS. So as impatient as we are, the patients themselves are more impatient.
Yeah.
Jason, always great appreciate the visit with you. Great stuff you guys are doing. Can't wait till we get to visit with you again. Jason Tardio, President and COO, Immunic Therapeutics, ticker symbol IMUX.